All right, let's talk about something that's really shaking things up for developers, an AI-powered command line tool called Gemini CLI. The promise is huge. It could totally change the way we write code. But here's the catch. A tool this powerful needs to be handled with some serious care. So let's get into it. Just picture this for a second. You sit down at your keyboard and suddenly you're twice as fast. You're just blowing through all that boring boilerplate code. You're spinning up new ideas and prototypes in minutes, not hours. You're basically coding at the speed of thought. That's the dream AI coding assistants are selling. But what if that incredible speed, that same raw power, could also drive your entire project straight into a brick wall twice as fast? That's the real tension here, and it's what we're going to unpack today. The massive hidden risks that come along for the ride with this incredible new power. So first up, the AI coding sword. To really get our heads around this thing, we need a good metaphor. I want you to think of Gemini CLI, not just as a tool, but as a sword. So what is it exactly? Well, on paper, Gemini CLI is an AI-powered command line interface. Its whole purpose in life is to speed up development by spitting out code and handling tasks right from your terminal. Its whole reason for being is speed. And that focus on speed is exactly what leads us to its two-sided nature. It really forces us to look at this idea of incredible productivity right up against the potential for, well, total destruction. And that brings us right back to our central metaphor, the double-edged sword. One edge of the blade? Oh, it's amazing. It gives you super fast development, way less tedious code to write, and prototypes that come to life in a flash. But the other edge? That's where you get broken dependencies, nasty security holes, and a mountain of technical debt that can bury you before you even see it coming. Let's actually put a number on that positive edge. We are talking about the potential for a 100% increase in productivity. And that's not just a little bump. That's a complete game changer for your workflow. It's like having a clone of yourself coding alongside you. But here's the flip side, and this is the scary part. That same power can speed up the failure of your project by an equal 100%. It is a perfectly balanced weapon. It can build or destroy with the exact same terrifying efficiency. The only difference is which way you point it. Okay, so how do you make absolutely sure you're always using the right edge of that sword? Well, you need safety nets. These are the practices you just can't skip. They're what protect you from the dark side of the tool. And your two most critical shields are right here. A disciplined, serious approach to version control, think GitHub, and a rock-solid commitment to writing comprehensive unit tests. And let me be clear, these aren't suggestions. They are the absolute price of admission. Let's break down version control for a sec. Mastering it isn't just about knowing Git commands. It's a whole discipline. You have to commit often to create those crucial save points. Your messages need to be crystal clear so you can actually understand what you did a week from now. And, most importantly, you have to use branch protection and demand code reviews so that a real human being always has the final say on what the AI produced. The exact same thing goes for unit testing. The number one rule, the golden rule, is this: test before you trust. Never ever just assume that the code the AI generated is correct. You need to build automated test suites that are always running, hook them into a CI pipeline, and keep a close eye on your code coverage to make sure your safety net doesn't have any holes in it. All right, so you've got your safety nets in place. Now we can start talking about a simple, practical rule book for actually using Gemini CLI day to day. So here are the ground rules, plain and simple. Do: fix every single error and warning the moment it pops up. Add tests. Document your code. Don't: work in a shaky, unstable environment. And please, whatever you do, never ask the AI to implement some brand new, unresearched idea directly into your main codebase. Just don't. Let's really zero in on that first rule for a second: fixing errors immediately. Why is this so critical? Because it is your canary in the coal mine. It's how you catch bugs when they're small and easy to squash. It forces you to keep your code quality high. And ignoring those little warnings, that's the first step on the road to a project buried in technical debt. And on the other side of that coin, why is it so dangerous to just tell the AI to implement some wild new idea? Because you are basically injecting pure, unfiltered chaos into your project. You could be adding who knows what dependencies, using totally untested architectural patterns, and creating an absolute maintenance nightmare for your future self. AI is a fantastic brainstorming partner, but it's a terrible choice for unvetted experimentation in your production code. Okay, we have our safety nets, we have our rules. Now, let's pull all of this together into one simple framework that really separates a successful project from a total train wreck. This whole framework really just boils down to a repeatable three-phase process. First, you prepare. Make sure your environment is solid and your goals are clear. Second, you develop. Make small, step-by-step changes and test every single one. And finally, you validate. Run all your tests, get that code review, and update your documentation. So what does this actually look like when it goes right? It's a success story. You start with clear requirements, and you're working in a stable environment. You let Gemini CLI do its thing and generate the code. You immediately run your tests to make sure it works. Then you commit those changes with a clear message and get a teammate to review it. See? Simple, safe, and incredibly effective. And now for the path to disaster. You start with just a vague idea. Maybe you're working on a spotty Wi-Fi connection. You tell the AI to just make it work. You skip all the testing because, hey, you're in a hurry. And then you push that untested, unverified, unreviewed code straight to production. This isn't a joke. This is a recipe for catastrophic failure. So, you see, it all comes down to these two paths. Gemini CLI is an unbelievably powerful ally when your safety nets are up, your testing is solid, and you follow a disciplined process. And it becomes an incredibly dangerous liability the second you ignore those safeguards, skip the quality checks, and use it as a shortcut for things you haven't thought through. And that really brings us to the single most important takeaway from all of this. Gemini CLI is a tool. It is not a replacement for sound engineering practices. It's an amplifier. It will amplify good habits, and it will absolutely amplify bad ones. The choice of which to amplify is all yours. Look, the tool is here, it's powerful, it's available, and it is not going anywhere. So the only question that's left to ask is this: are you the kind of engineer who can master it